Good evening, everyone. Late Night Mega here, and tonight we're going to do a premiere draft of Throne of Eldraine. This overlay that you're kind of seeing, some of this stuff, this is the untapped.gg overlay with Draftsmith. I'm going to have Draftsmith on at least for a few drafts of this, because I've never drafted this set, not when it first came out and was in Standard, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I did look at some content before doing this, so I'm not going into this completely blind, but I'm going to have to read a lot of the cards, too. I do know that this is, like, primarily a monocolor draft set, which is kind of interesting, at least a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of, like, the flavor of this set. This is like a fairy tale sort of theme. I know a lot of people really liked it, and some people really didn't like it. I'm in the some people didn't really like it category. Also, for the record, I don't really care for the flavor of the Innistrad plane, so, you know, I guess I'll just be the outlier on that. So with that, let's go ahead and get in here. So the Draftsmith, it's kind of a draft helper, although it has some limitations, as we've seen in some other sets that we've used this in. Primarily, like, Kaladesh, and it is really bad in Dominaria United, in my opinion. I won't even have it on for that anymore. And Amonkhet, where, you know, it's not really good at, like, telling you to switch colors if there's, like, a strong signal in, say, like, middle of pack 2 or whatever. And it's not really good at picking up on some other certain nuances in some sets. Like, I remember in Amonkhet we had the card Cut to Ribbons. Just the cut side, 2 mana, 4 damage to a creature as a sorcery, is a great, very playable card. But if you couldn't cast the black side, so like I was a red-green deck, or why did we just lose everybody? Whatever, I'll just keep rambling. So if we had a red-white or red-green deck, it would say, hey, don't play Cut to Ribbons in your deck. You'd recommend you take it out. Which is obviously not correct. So, as far as number of drafts I'm going to try to do like 6 to 8 drafts. It's probably not going to be more than that, because this set is only available for a week. It's probably going to be more like 6 or 7. We'll see. If I have a ton of fun with this, maybe I'll try to cram another 1 or 2 in, but I haven't collected much of the set, though you'll see there might be a couple cards that I like wild carded to play either in Standard a little bit, because I was playing like off and on in Standard on Arena at this time. I remember using like the Sprite Dragon sort of deck with casting a bunch of instants and sorceries, making that bigger and bigger. Alright, cool, let's ready up here. I am going to Mythic draft, but I'm not just going to, like, Rare draft. I don't know how Draftsmith is going to handle the whole, this being a majorly monocolor set. I don't even know if there is going to be Draftsmith data for this set, because last time Throne of Eldraine was in Arena, it was Quick Draft. Oh my gosh, we opened Oko. Oh, hey, there is, This is one of the reasons to play a secondary. In no world is this not the pick. Oko was banned in every format, like, almost every format ever. Did it get banned in Legacy, too? Maybe it's not used in Legacy? I don't know. I know it was banned in Standard. It was banned in Pioneer. It was banned in Modern. It might be banned in Legacy, too. I don't know. I know you can play it in Commander, where it's still kind of obnoxious. I don't think there's anything else super worth looking at. Oh, yeah, there's adventures in this set. There's food in this set. That doesn't seem like a phenomenal card. Red Scorching Dragonfire. Okay, so we do have Draftsmith stuff here. There's clearly going to be no other pick besides Oko.
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me.
Okay, so we want to be either mono green or mono blue. These hybrid things can be good for this. Haste when you gain life for the first time. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, that's like a cool card with food. We have Keeper of Fables. I think that's going to be the pick because that's card draw. You guys know me. I love drawing cards. I know the mono blue one. Yeah, there's this adamant mechanic, so you want to be able to have like 3 mana of a single color. I would also like to get this back because that could actually help us cast Oko. So we're kind of looking at mono green, splash blue. And for splashing, you kind of want to go like very light splashing. That is an expensive ability there. Ginger Brute is also pretty good. Lots of good red cards. Alright, but yeah, Keeper of Fables, oh my. We'll take the Deathless Knight. What's this thing? Sacrifice of food. Target creature blocks this turn. Knights were kind of a big tribal. I'm going to pick the hybrid card here over the 3-1 for 2. We'll just kind of see what's up. Didn't say please. Yeah, there's a mill. Blue kind of likes to do the mill thing a bit. So these hybrid cards, they kind of look like multicolor cards, but you can play them in monocolor decks, and the idea is you can play this in mono green or mono black. What does this thing do? Counter target spell with mana value 3 or less. That's not bad, but we're still getting good green cards. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm just going to keep picking the green cards. Gingerbread Cabin. Yeah, we had these things. Yeah, that makes a food. That would actually be pretty good with the Deathless Knight. I don't even know what these other cards do. Outflank. Damage target attacking or blocking creature equal to the number of creatures you control. Oh, that's nice. 3/2. Dies or you discard it, create a food token. The bartered cow. Why is it a glowing cow? I want a glowing cow. Oh, we have a red card that's still here. Deals 7 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. If 7 red mana was spent to cast the spell, it deals 7 damage to each of those permanents and or players. I feel like that'd be good, but fell the pheasant, kill a flyer, and make a food. We have Wildwood Tracker. If you control another non-human creature, it gets +1/+1. That was probably the pick. I could see a splashing Sundering Stroke. I think I still just want to keep taking green cards. Oh wait, what's that knight? I wanted to read that Black Knight. Darn it, what's this thing do? Oh, that seems nice. We're far off from mono white, though. We could take artifacts. Scalding Cauldron is removal. ETBs attached to a creature we control gets +2/+1. I need to read some more. What's this? Steel Claw. Oh, I remember this card. I just remember seeing this card. Well, we got the Scalding Cauldron. That's the important part there. Thrill of Possibility. Wistful Merfolk. Wolf's Quandary. Then again, we are getting some white cards here. I hope I don't have to go over to... Okay, here we go. Garenbrig Carver. It's +2/+2. It has a 3/2. And there's another Merrileaf Rider. We'll take the adventure, I guess. Card doesn't seem super exciting. Oh, we want non-humans, though, don't we? That's an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. Return to nature. Destroy an artifact, enchantment, to a card from graveyard. Probably not. Roving Keep. 7 mana to cast, 7 mana to activate. That card doesn't seem good. Yeah, sure, I'll just take the Return to Nature. We're probably not going to play that. A Reeve Soul. We potentially splash that. Oh, this helps non-humans. This might actually be good here, especially with our Keeper of Fables. Tempting Witch. Alright. And our opponent reveals their hand. I don't know. As you can tell, I don't have much of this set. We're just gonna target artifact or enchantment, draw a card. Yeah, that's probably not going to play. Ooh. Add a 7 red. You can only cast 1 more spell this turn. Oh, well, that's seems really, really bad. Merrileaf Pixie to help our blue splash. Prophet of the Peak. I think we're doing fine on the top end. Cast a creature that has an adventure. And that is an adventure. I always think the Pixie. I don't know if we want that or not, but I feel we do want to play Oko. But we do want to stay like primarily green here. Turn any target creature card. And can't block. That seems decent. What's this thing do? Once and future. At least 3 green. Instead, return those cards to your hand in exile. Okay. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Put up to 1 target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Might as well take that. What's the other green card here? We need to sacrifice the food. Oh, yeah. We need to get more food stuff. There's another Scalding Cauldron. Ooh. That seems like a good card, too. But we're not doing that, I don't think. Sporecap Spider, or this Tree Folk. Put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature, and it becomes a Tree Folk. Alright, sure. Try and cut some of the... What's this Vantress Gargoyle? Can't attack unless defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. Can't block unless you have 4 or more cards in hand. Can't block? But it can still attack? Wait, what? Oh, can't attack unless... Oh, 7 or more. Okay. Okay. I was not reading that the best. Maybe I just take the Jousting Dummy here. Blue seems to be somewhat open. Ooh. That's like a good blue card for milling in that. Blue seems somewhat open in this direction. Equal to the number of artifacts and or enchantments you control. I'll just take another Merrileaf Rider. Another 2-drop going here. Out Muscle. That's a good fight spell. This card... 4 mana to make 2 2/2s. It's a human. Well, the Elf Knight Ranger is not a human. I'm going to take the Outmuscle. Outmuscle is a fight spell, can make your thing indestructible. I think that's what we want to be doing. Tall as a beanstalk. Giant creature gets +3/+3, has reach, and is a giant. 4 mana for that. No, thank you. Scry 2, and I can later, like, draw a card, maybe. Maybe this Queen of Ice could be interesting too. Alright, here's another 2-drop, but it's a human, so we kind of have a little bit of a non-human theme going on. So we want to just be, like, primarily mono green and splash one other color, or just a few cards from another color. Like Oko. Insatiable Appetite. Well, this is a nice combat trick anyways. Equipped creature is +1/+2. Draw your second card. Yeah, the Spider came back, Drown in the Lock. That also seems like a pretty good, pretty decent removal spell, but we're not blue-black. Though I feel like we could have been blue-black. Ooh, draw 3 cards. I'd splash for that. Yeah, I would love to draw extra. What does this thing do? Control an artifact, control an enchantment. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll take this thing. Now we're going to try and not play it. And we have whatever that card was. And, oh yeah, I remember this card. I have this in one of my commander decks. What does this thing do? 2 less to cast if an opponent controls a green permanent. Okay. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Ooh. I love drawing cards. Did you guys know that? And there's also Fierce Witchstalker here. That's a pretty good one. Makes a food token, 4 mana, 4/4. But this thing just seems better. Paladin, maybe. Heck, even if this comes back, I'd be happy with any of these 3 coming back. There can't be 3 more green players at this table, right? Ooh, Lovestruck Beast. Oh, I hated playing against this card in Standard. It looks very innocent, but it is so annoying to play against. I feel like it always came out at, like, a really inopportune time, and just, like, you don't want to spend a removal spell killing the 1/1 just to make the 5/5 not be able to attack or block, because then they just, you know, play another 1/1, and then it can attack or block again. Did that thing just cry at me? Curious Pair, we also have Enchanted Carriage. Makes a couple 1/1s. That actually goes well with our thing we just grabbed. So maybe we want this. What does this thing do? Oh, this is the Knight. The Knight land. I somehow own one of those already. Ah, yes, this thing. Wasn't sure if we'd get to one of those. Obviously, you know, the numbers at the bottom. This is the Draftsmith overlay that updates based on what you've picked. Kind of, you can tell that we've disagreed with it a few times, but otherwise pretty decent. Oh, this thing. I have a deck that uses this in Commander, where you can blink it. You can blink the card and it returns to its owner's control. Aminatu. Yeah, so like every turn you can just tutor whatever you want out of your deck, and yeah, that's really great. I'm not running a ton of artifacts or enchantments, so I don't know how good this is. Then again, Oko makes things, or I could just... Because I'm not going to run 2 Return to Natures. We have 25 cards. We technically have playables. It's either that or the Shambling. I'm going to rare draft this. Okay, we got Oko. Ooh, another Maryleaf Pixie. Sign me up. Doom Foretold. Oh, I remember this card too. A card's a weird card. Each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-land, non-token. If they can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life. You draw a card, and you gain 2 life, and you create a 2/2 white knight token. Okay. Ginger Brute. I'm happy with that. It's also a 1/1. What is this thing? Oathsworn Knight? 4+1/+1 counters on it. Some black player is going to be happy with that. Taxi to combat. If damage would be dealt to while it has +1, prevent that damage. Oh, that card reminds me. It's like the Phantoms. They were green and white. They were from Torment. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who's been around this game long enough to know what I'm talking about? Another Queen of Ice. We're not really doing the draw 2 cards thing. I'll take another Queen of Ice. Ah, this was our original pack. Remember, I was happy if this would come back. There were several other good green cards, but we had to take that. Rosethorn Halberd. Weapon Rack. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Fell the Pheasant. Flyers are annoying. Maybe we play that, maybe we don't. I'll just take the uncommon, return to nature. Okay. Okay, so, and also when we finish drafting, Draftsmith is going to be like, yo, I want you to play this. Okay, mono green. Simic is a bit less, but we're going to play the Simic. And you can click on, like, build this deck, and it'll build the deck for you. Let's see what they want with mono green. You can also, like, click this again and just do your own thing. But since I don't know what I'm doing yet, we're going to just see what they want. They don't want that, don't want that, don't want Queen of Ice, don't want Oko. What do you guys think the chances of that happening are? I don't think there's a lot of graveyard stuff in this set, other than our knight. Okay, yeah, in no world do we first pick an Oko and not play it when we could potentially be playing it. What else you got, Draftsmith? Let's do this one. Doesn't want us playing the Deathless Knight. This is where I don't like Draftsmith. Okay, so you see here where it says you gain life for the first time each turn. You return it from your graveyard to your hand. We're going to be adding Oko to the deck that makes food tokens that can gain us life. Why would I not? It wants the 2 Queen of Ice, which seems decent. Oh, that's not a... Oh, crap, that is a human. Darn it. Unexplained Vision. Maybe we don't need that card. I don't know. I did say I kind of like the look of that turtle. Because that turtle could go along with our... this thing. And maybe we don't need to draw cards. I just want to splash for Oko. And it wants me running... Yeah, this is not... This is not how we run mana bases in this particular set. We want to be heavy, more green, especially if we're doing this thing. Wants us to remove 2 of those. Remove 2 of those. Cast a creature that has an adventure spell. Oh, you know what would be what's kind of a cool combo? This Maryleaf Rider and Outmuscle. So Outmuscle, we didn't quite get a chance to look at this, or I didn't get a chance to show you guys this. So 3 green mana. If we use 3 green mana to cast this, the creature gains indestructible. And then we put a +1/+1 counter and fight. So we can put a 1/1 counter, fight, and then sack a food that we have, and then attack, and make something else block this. Oh, that's a goal. Don't play Ginger Brute when you have Lovestruck Beast. What the heck is wrong with this? I'll take one of those out. I will take out the Return to Nature. I hope that wouldn't be necessary. We kind of want... How many adventure things do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 ways to... Oh, 5-ish. We only have 5 ways to trigger that. I don't think I want 2 of these. We do have, like, the Curious Pair. We have that. We have Ginger Brute. I don't think we need 2 of those. I do kind of want to play the Deathless Knight, though. And the Lovestruck Beast. The Spider seems fine. 1/5? That seems fine. I do kind of want to play this turtle. I'd have to remove something else to play it, though. And... Okay, hang on. Oh, and we have the Maryleaf Pixies. I think we just play 5 islands. Maybe I don't play Deathless. I don't know. It's a 4/2 with haste regardless, which can also go well with our Keeper of Fable. I want to play the turtle. I'm like pretty sure I want to play the turtle. I guess to play the Pixie on turn 2. Yeah, I want as many like non-humans as possible, because this seems like a good combo. Non-human can't be blocked, and then another non-human, we get to draw an extra card off that. That seems good. I guess if we were going to put the Ice Queens in, I really want Outmuscle to be as good as it can be. So it requires 3 green. What all do we have that makes food? That is food. That makes food. I think we're just going to run the deck like this. Not quite like this. We're going to do something different with lands. Draftsmith, get your green out of here. I think we're going to go not 10-7. I think we're going to go 11-5. 12-5? 12-5? Yeah, it seems good. We're going to try it. That's going to be the deck. And, turn... Alright. And we'll get into the games. Okay, so I did check off camera, and Oko is banned everywhere except for Vintage Inkman. He's banned in Legacy, too. And, of course, Draft, because, you know, you can't really ban cards in Draft when you're like, here's 3 random packs. Oh, but if you open a certain card, you're not allowed to play it. Gallerati. Alright, let's go here. 2 islands. But this is fine. I guess it's fine. I need another non-human. This is non-human. Quick, cast a green permanent so I can play this. That's not casting a green permanent. Okay. No need to reveal our secondary color yet. We've got islands for our opponent. Our opponent found our second gear. Okay, good. I'm fine with that stuff getting milled. Cauldron. Of course, I can't actually, like, cast any of... I'll attack anyways. Maybe they don't. Okay, they block. Alright. We'll play our Cauldron. Yeah, this is the blue milling card. Okay, that gives +3/+3. I am probably just going to cast that. Oh yeah, and our opponent does have potentially counter magic up. Didn't want to block. Darn it. Really would have liked that to resolve. And we milled over more good stuff. We do have that card that could return things. We've already lost like half our deck, though. And it's only turn 4. I respect mill as an alternate win condition. I just don't like playing against it. Who does like playing against it? It's really awkward dealing with this thing, because, like, I can't do that and activate this. Opponent's going to opt. Okay. I guess I'm going to do this post-combat. Okay. Wonderful. Sage of the Falls. Or another non-human, you may draw discard. Okay. Oh, lots of big toughness. This is definitely a controlled deck. Hello there. That's not even good. One thing I can do is cast this big old tree folk. This thing can't even attack now because it's so tiny. Well, this is not an ideal start. I kind of need... It's not triple, quadruple, centuple? Is that 5? I need 5 green to cast this and this. Oh, that'll do. We haven't had the best hand dealing with this. Don't have another trick. You've had counters for everything I've done. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't think that was necessary, but okay. Pardon the interruption with the... well, this is an instant. With the dog barking. Return target card to my hand. What is even good here? Target card to put on top of your library. Or it gets returned to my hand instead. I guess I'll take this. Okay, with the adamant. Alright. I can't cast any of those, but I can kill that. Let's just kill that. Can't really attack because our creatures are so weak. I will chump block, I think, though. What does that thing do? I explained... oh, that's just the draw 3. Honestly, I wouldn't mind trading this off, because if I gain life, I can just get it back. I can't even adventure this to give it any sort of meaningful power. Yeah. Okay, that's a card we can play. Let's do... this. We'll play the make it 1/1 and no attacks. So we have a Love-Struck Beast. Oh great, that thing's coming back. Turn rare enters the battlefield, draw a card. And the Sage, and you can kill a thing right now. This deck is really annoying to play against. Witching Well. The opponent's also down to like the same amount of cards, but we've been milled. Alright, Mirrorleaf Pixie. I can dig that. Do you want to kill this? I mean, I can't stop the thing from doing its thing. It may as well. Still have Oko in the deck. I think I'm going to put counters on... Well, no, we got to be careful. Because if I go to put counters on this and they respond with... Okay, so they still have that up. A spider, okay. I'm going to be a little bit cautious on our tree folk here. I could just cast the tree folk as well, and this... Alright, cool. That's an instant to give a creature +2/+2. Get this reach thing going. Yeah, I know how adventures work when you fizzle the one. Okay. Well, I can't stop that from dying. We have a surprise +2/+2. We could effectively be at 9 life. I could actually exchange control of this with Oko, can't I? And something else, maybe take their own Tempting Witch? Okay, so now our opponent has unknown cards in hand. And do this. Do I just push for damage here? This is 3. Probably. This. That's the thing. Maybe there's not answers? I'm still just playing cautiously here. This is just a general 3. I don't like the flavor text on these things because this is where like ability text would go in these adventure cards. Like, let's find... Yeah, I took damage. Yeah, like, see there's no flavor text. But there is on that one. It just throws me off. Run away together! Oh, so you get your thing back. Opponent also needs to be careful of not running out of cards themselves. Which it's probably not going to be an issue. Anyways, the reason I don't like playing against Mills is just kind of gross. It's just kind of an uninteractive thing to do. But we have, like, suddenly no attacks. That doesn't even beat... Stupid 2/5. I think we're just going to lose to that. I don't even think Oku can get me around that 2/5. Well, I can make a bunch of 3/3s, but... Charmed Sleep. That's also as good as dead. I still can't even punch through that. And we're baking more stuff into a pie. And I'm still lower on cards. Yeah, I've got a good control deck. Control and mill. And that thing is definitely going to kill us. Outmuscle, you are incredibly late to the party. Let's just watch this go horribly wrong. Okay, well that didn't go horribly wrong, so I guess that's good. It also has Indestructible for the turn. Let's attack. Opponent down to 3, of course, could essentially be at 9. I feel like those are going to be damaging me. Okay. Another Tomb Raider. Or should I call... I'm going to call this card Lara Croft. Yeah, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. It's not the same tomb. It's tomb with a B, not with an E. Because the E is with the book. Whatever. Close enough. Another Lara Croft. You can't have 3 of those. Something... Is that... That's not a... Oh, that is a May. Keeper of Fables, non-humans. Oh, it has a counter on it, too. Alright. That is a human. That's right, it put a plus... The thing we did put a +1/+1 counter. I thought it was just +1/+1 till end of turn. That's like the 4th bake into a pie. Or a 3rd. They got 1 back. Gosh. And we're going to be dead to flyers just before they run out of cards. And I draw land. Yep, I'm just dead to that stuff. Green was probably not the most open thing, but, Alright, what didn't I like about what we had? Oh, we have Scarecrow Knight. I guess I don't need that. Yeah, maybe I'll try 16 lands instead. And I don't need more than one blue source, so that's why I'll cut that. Kogutsu. And yet we still get an opening hand with 2 blue. Throw our opponent off and do this. Because blue decks are probably not playing Ginger Brute. Going to block. Alright. I'm cool with that. Let's play the Pixie. A little bit less aggressive, a little bit less squishy. It's gonna die anyways. And now this is like the last stuff we have? I don't understand what happened. We traded 2 cards. Our opponent still has a billion things. And we have... Why do we have 4 islands? Kill that. Okay, so if one of those is a land, and then our opponent has 4 and we have 2, how did... I'm confused. Oh, that card's not good. Greater Rat, Gain Menace. With power 3 or less, let's... You can't cast that on my creature, silly. Yeah, we're going to play the land here. And we're just going to get aggressive. Because that is about all we can do. Well, that's not a bad idea here. Especially our opponent. Okay, so our opponent has like all spells because they missed several land drops. Oh, what is this thing? It is just a 2/1. Again, our opponent's about to stabilize here. Alright, I'm more happy with that than having everything traded off. What's that thing do? Attacks another attacking knight, gets menace. And that's just a poison piper thingy. Ooh! That's what I want. Yeah! Keeper of the Fables. That doesn't do anything. 4/5 is really nice on this board. We're very close to having this wrapped up. What does this thing do? Embereth Paladin. Plays 3 mana, it enters with a +1/+1 counter, and it has haste. Is there any reason I should care about this? No? Okay. Oh, hey, I found Oko. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk with base power 3/3. Come on! I didn't even get to cast it! Yeah, sometimes I swear, our opponents are like looking at our hand. Because they certainly play like it. Like they know the exact one trick we have, and not like it's not like a variety of different things that it could have potentially been. And the opponent just plays around it perfectly. In this case, they played around Oko by conceding the moment we drew it. Guy Ford. Problem, but well, that doesn't actually help. We're gonna keep it though. Fabled Passage. Yes, this was the set that introduced the Fabled Passage. Oh, I hope our opponent is playing green. We haven't played against another green deck. Be green. Be green because this thing wants you to be green. There we go. I'm still just going to keep spewing out forests here. That's not a... You didn't play a green permanent, though. This thing has not been super impressive to me. If you control another... Oh, I guess next turn I could attack. These things are both not... Humans play... Sure. Whenever Sir Farron, the Hedgehammer, attacks, another target attacking creature gets +X/+X, where X is its power. Oh, that's cute. So is this. I attack with the 2/2. That's just a food. You can have the food. I have a Scalding Cauldron. Cauldron's been nice. Don't kill my thing. It just wants to draw me a card. Just play a creature. Thank you. No. Just, you have your creature. I have my creature. That's all we need. Just don't do anything else. Don't do anything silly. Don't do it. Opponent. Okay. Out muscle feels kind of good here. Kill that thing. Be aggressive. I mean, there's a free block here. I get that. I'm more afraid of that thing staying alive. I'm fine with a free block because we get a free card draw. Ooh. Okay, I got my card draw, so if that thing dies now, it's not as big of a deal. I wasn't able to play my Deathless Knight there. I need another forest for that. That's a problem. I mean, this will trade with that. Problem is I can't really cast anything after that. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Why would you do that? Auto tapper. What blue cards? Well, I can't cast this anyway. I guess I did. I was thinking that I could tap that right away. And I forgot about Summoning Sickness. I'm paying 3 mana for a 2/3 that taps for mana. Can't it have haste? Actually, fun fact, in Magic Origin... That was rude. In Magic Origins, there was a card that had... there was a creature that tapped for mana that had haste. It wasn't super great. It was a 2 mana. You're gonna sack that and gain 3? Is your hand like that unimpressive? I mean, I'm fine if it is. There's another forest. I guess I do want Keeper of the Fables down. This is going to trade with that. I think I'm good with the trade. Because that'll open the way for Sir Conrad. Could attack with all of these. I mean, if the giant wants to block something else, I'm going to draw 2. I'm good with that. And then I'm, like, guaranteeing a card draw off of the Keeper of Fables. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know the 1/3 complete. Yep. Cool. I'll draw 2. I lose this thing that's not really going to do anything, and I draw 2. I will take that. Man, I wish this adventure was an instant. The green decks are going to have a little bit of a tough time. Okay, thank you for dealing with some of what we got. I feel like I just want to pump that. Because I don't need the haster right now. Could also pump the Keeper of Fables. I don't really need to pump this to make it good. Problem is this just isn't really a combat trick, per se. Could just play the Enchanted Carriage. I might just do that. I draw 2 if that connects, and the only other thing it can do is trade with that giant. Okay, sure. I'll draw 2 more cards. I don't know why our opponent is oopsing. I'm not going to pretend to know. Let's just... I don't want to make that more of a target than it already is. Could put it on the tracker. It'd be a 4/4. Nah, we'll do it on here. Oh wait, there could be the, okay. There's that 2 mana kill a flyer, or 5 damage to a flyer thing. So I have 21 cards left in my deck. Wow. Where did they all go? Like, our opponent's graveyard is like the size of our graveyard. Claim the Firstborn. Okay, well, you get that for a turn. That's a lot of damage. I could just double block and kill this wall thing. We lose our Keeper of Fables. I feel like we've drawn enough cards off of it. I should be okay with that. There's only one green, so there shouldn't be any tricks here. Yeah. Thinking I'm just going to play the 6/5 this turn after attacking. Oh yeah, that's a 1/5, isn't it? That's really annoying. That's 3 mana to discard a card and draw. Oh, but it's not a tap effect. I thought I saw a tap effect in there. It's not a tap effect, but discarding it. How the heck were you planning on casting that? When you're basically mono green splash, I don't know. Ooh, our turtle has arrived. I just keep getting aggressive here. Opponent just doesn't really have good blocks. Would have to triple block this thing to kill it. We have 8 mana. I probably... Really? 6. I guess you can keep the Wildwood Tracker. Alright. I mean, I'll take that. I get to draw a card. I draw Oko. My opponent immediately concedes. Ooh, Lovestruck Beast. That's a good card. The turtle... I want to play the turtle, too. Oh, I can play it all. Cool. I was also thinking the Enchanted Carriage, but... do this. Play Lovestruck Beast. It's a Beast Noble. Obviously, this is a... at least to me, this seems like a reference to the Beauty and the Beast. Because he was kind of in love with her, but he was a beast, and... you know the story. This is the Throne of Eldraine background. It's not very interactive. This was back in the day of less interactive backgrounds. The only thing I'm not liking about our deck is it does feel a bit slow to get going. Maybe that's what those things are supposed to be for. But... I don't know. I think I'm fine playing the one of Back to Nature. There do seem to be a lot of artifacts in this format. And nasty enchantments. Even though our opponent didn't have any there, our opponent was like red-green or green with a red splash and then a quad red splash. I didn't understand that. But I guess I don't need to understand that. If you don't want to cast a spell, activate an ability, or understand your opponent's deck, you can pass priority with the spacebar. So that's what we'll do. Just looking for another opponent. I feel like a lot of people might not even know this event is up right now. This is not the opponent I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. I don't want mythic opponents yet. I'm not ready for that. Opponent goes first. Yeah, I guess. Ginger Brute, go. Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, that's the card that's in this format. I have no turn to play. Oh, look, there's Bone Crusher Giant. Becomes the target of a spell, it deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. That's wonderful. For everybody who isn't me. Wait a minute, are you supposed to be mono green splash red or mono red splash green? Either way, we are having issues. I am probably not supposed to be aggressive here. No! Stop killing all my stuff! I didn't even have time to do the thing on that. I kind of need to play this. Trail of Crumbs, that makes that. Kinda would have liked to land there. Honestly, if I get rid of this Bone Crusher, I could be good. I gotta get rid of Trail of Crumbs, too. Because that's just gonna give more things. Okay, another one of those is fine. It's not, but it's happening, so you know. I have to hope this goes through. It's not going through. We're just dead. Oh, they have their own thing, too. Yeah, that's great. Land is a little bit late. We're just dead. Because I can't beat Bone Crusher Giant and all that. Because those things pump up. Yeah, we're taking too much damage here. I'm at least going to kill some stuff. Oh my gosh, come on, just let your stuff die. That was really obnoxious. But that's Mythic rank players for you. Alright, we're 2-2. Is there anything else? I mean, I almost wouldn't mind having just another... These guys being humans isn't great when we have, like, 3 things that want us having non-humans. We haven't even cast Oko yet, come on. The only time we had Oko, our opponent just instant conceded when we drew it. Ghost 187. We didn't even get to cast it. Oh, hey, we're going to get to cast Oko. Oh, this is like a perfect curve out. Turn 1, turn 2 this, turn 3 Oko, turn... Just do whatever we want. I can sack a food and make things block that. Oh, that's going to be great with Oko. I do need Oko to resolve, though. Is there counter magic for... Don't counter it. Dang it! I didn't know... Wait, how does that... If it targets a blue spell... Well, that was annoying. We have a trick to use. And I will make a food. Well, I cast Oko. Didn't get to use Oko, so that means we have to have another game with this deck. Tomb Raider. Lara Croft is here. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Alright. Out muscle. Honestly, I think we take a turn off from attacking. Most mana efficient thing is to do this. Oh my gosh, he's that sound effect, that's a great sound effect. Oh, that's just the 0-4 version. I thought I was getting milled again. Well, newsflash, I'm getting milled again. At least I won't feel bad about attacking with this now. Kind of want to save the out muscle. I kind of don't want that to be dying. Wait, we do have the card that can let me get back Oko. Ooh. Enchanted Carriage. I could play that too. I think we're going to have to say goodbye to our rider. Yeah. Make a 1-1 and get that. I think I do just kind of want the 5-5 again. Yeah, I just wanted to hear him cry again. Gosh. Oh, that is a ridiculous sound effect. Enter the battlefield is a copy of any... No? Artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. So it's a food token? Okay. We got our win. We cast Oko, we got our win. Who knows, maybe next time... We've had Oko in our hand, we've cast Oko. Maybe this time we'll actually get to activate Oko. It's like the most difficult thing to do, apparently. I mean, it's one of the most broken cards, and we haven't done anything meaningful with it yet. That guy's probably taking that mirror copy thing out of its deck. Probably thought he could copy anything, but no, it's copy an artifact or enchantment. Alright, Spunk Monkey. Well, someone had to be a Spunk Monkey. I go first. Decent hand. I think we're not going to play the Ginger Brute because we can attack for 3 on turn 2 rather than attacking for 1 and attacking for 1. And that's a little bit better. Hello, opponent. Up against a white deck. 1/1 flyer. I'm going to say can't be blocked. There's either that or I play the Cauldron. I don't necessarily want to play that there, because I don't really have anything going on next turn. What does this thing do? Creature without flying can't attack or block. Well, guess what? My creature doesn't have flying. But it is going to attack and block in the same turn. Take another 3. Let's make Ginger Brute bigger, shall we? So it can't just be blocked here. Lands are good. We have a Cauldron to use. We've kind of been very aggressive this game. We had like a very good aggressive. I'm not going to say the best aggressive start you could have in this format because I don't know. That's a 3/3. It's also dead in more ways than one. I'm going to kill it like this, though, because we know this is here and we know this kills that. Plus, that was also like a face-up trick on the board, so I don't know why my opponent... I could also just make it so it can't be blocked, too. That's also a thing. But also next turn, like, I could out-muscle something, make this unblockable, and win if we get a land. I like that idea. Let's do that. Opponent, tap all your lands. Tap all your lands, don't kill my Ginger Brute. That's the only thing I require of you. Perfect. I need a land. Thank you. Doesn't matter. Pay the Adamant, because our thing is indestructible. Our thing also can't be blocked. We swing in for 4. We win. That went well. It didn't involve casting Oko or activating Oko, but it went well. Discover the impossible. Apparently the impossible thing now is getting to activate Oko. It's like we got the best Mythic in the set, and it hasn't made a meaningful impact in any of our games. I really shouldn't have cast him into that open match. I should just cast the Lovestruck Beast in that one game. But, you know, stuff happens. I'm not familiar with the cards. Padiyapa Wild Tusker. Really? You're gonna give me both of them? Every other game I've had like multiple islands. And the time when you give me 2 of these in my opener, we can't get... I can't cast anything in this. This does not count. That was an island too, remember? I got a mulligan that. Welcome to my... I'm going to get rid of the Deathless Knight. Just because I'm not going to be able to play that for... This deck is just mocking me now. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to play things. That does not attach to that. Flutter Fox. No, I'm not trying to attack. If I had one of my combat tricks there, what does that thing do? Deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever a knight enters the battlefield under your control, it untaps. Looks like a target for return to nature. By the way, your thing doesn't have flying. Not that I was going to block that anyway. I should have kept the stupid knight. I just want to hear him cry again. That's how I feel. I know how you feel, buddy. A 1-2 with double strike. That doesn't impress me. Can these two... Those two can't even team up and kill that, but... I mean, what the heck else am I doing this turn? And if opponent wants to use removal, maybe they have, like, damage-based removal, kill that to try and stop it. We have more. More are coming. No, it's not damage-based removal. That's a cool card. Alright, let's go attacking. Do I attack with that too? Not really. Yeah. +2/+2 until end of turn and untap. So that's attempting to trade. Let's not do that. So I traded my trick for their half adventure and that thing. Alright. Another double striker. 4, 5, 6, 7. That is enough damage to kill the poor thing. But that's okay. If they want to triple block and trade their entire board, I'm game. Now we do this. Now we threaten to make this unblockable. That's one of our splash. First time getting to use the Mistford River Turtle. Opponent sees the writing on the wall, doesn't have removal. Okay, so Oko is apparently just like a cheerleader for this deck. It doesn't ever get to enter play. That's what we're doing here. The Oko-less Oko deck. Yaklin 42. Alright, let's go. Again, this seasonal ritual doesn't help us cast our same color thing. We have the island. This is kind of a slow hand. Well, the Acolyte will help us cast the Deathless Knight. We're going to keep this. We do have a lot of small things we can cast, potentially. An opponent mulligan, so... Mulligan to on the play. Oh, don't play anything. Don't... Okay, thank you. You don't play anything, I won't play anything. We'll just call it good. Maybe there's a realm where I should do this just to get the thing out of my hand. 2/1 Knight. Alright, I found a 2-drop. You have a 2-drop. Yours has first strike, so I'm not going to block. You go ahead and do your thing. I'll do my thing. We'll meet up somewhere in the middle. Okay, that's getting to be a little much. I could Insatiable Appetite. I think it's better off just getting this 2/3 down. And not attacking, of course. But +1/+1 counter on a knight you control, and of course those things are knights. I'm not having a good time with this. Okay, this thing is not good. It's a 4/2. I'm going to play the spider so I have a trick up. And we'll pass the turn there. Okay, so now this thing can't attack unless there is a trick. So that's also going to be like another sort of tell. Or we can do that. Create a 2/2 Knight token. That's fine. Of course it's a 3/2 because of that thing. I need my kill thing on that. Okay. I can cast the adventure of this. Or I just casted this. No. I want to cast the adventure. I want to hold the trick open. One 5 can already kill that thing. Let's make this a 4/5. And we'll just chill. What's this thing do when it's just 3/3 vigilance? Oh, it's a unicorn. The lonesome unicorn. It can't be that lonesome. It summons a knight. Like so. Okay. Another trick. Just play my cat. I can play this, but I can't play the trick. Problem is playing one of these tricks are down. No, I can't attack here. That's insane. Let's play this. And just pass. Okay, once again, no attacks unless you have tricks. Or you keep playing stuff. I would prefer very greatly if you stopped playing stuff. Do you think you can manage that? So many youthful knights. I can now attack with the pixie, draw a card. Seems okay. That seems cool. This card literally doesn't do anything on this board. I can cast the 6/5. Tricks are down for a turn, but I think that's fine. We just need bodies right now. And we love bodies. Okay. Alright, out muscle. That's helpful. What do we kill with that? They're all just like the same thing over and over. Trick is good. Draw a card. Oh, perfect. Another thing. I'm gonna kill this too. I still have tricks in my hand. Yeah, this is... Okay, this is going well. I appreciate that you haven't attacked me for like the past 8 turns. It's been really working out nicely. Yeah, we'll just go in with these. +3/+3 makes this survive the double first strike. Yeah, you need to block this too. Okay. Angry. I understand. You can't really do much to this. I mean, you spent a lot of turns not attacking. Well, I mean, we had some time. There were some turns that probably could have attacked in for a little bit. I don't know. We had a lot of big toughness things. But you know what we didn't have in that game? Yes, Oko. We didn't have Oko. Don't tell me Oko is going to be like Neheb from our Amonkhet series, the mythic rare that we just never get to actually cast or do anything with. Oh, hi, Oko. We just need one of our blue sources, but we have stuff we can do. Stuff and things. We'll attack. Player Cauldron. Jousting dummy. I found it. We're not playing it right now, but I found it. We're gonna play this. Because I just love that sound effect. Oh my gosh. Just picturing that thing crying. Oh. How do we want to do this? Because if I play Oko and just attack, they're going to be blocking. Then again, Mono Red's not going to be able to handle this very well. I think the correct move is to not play Oko here. Because Oko's just a cheerleader. We have this Cauldron, we can kill something. We can have a pump to possibly save from a damage spell or whatever. I was gonna let that go through. I don't need to block any of that. Do I just kill this net? No. Not even caretaking this damage. Mr. Doom and Gloom? Fine, kill it. I've had enough of you. That's how you're gonna spend your turn. I play Oko here. And make a food. I think our opponent blocks with his 1/1. That part's obvious. Could they kill Oko, though, is the question. That was a unique choice. Let's do it anyways. Just do it. We did it!
Surely you must be famished.
Oko's on the field. So this thing can just become a 3/3. I could also exchange control of target artifact or creature control with power 3 or less. So I could even just give them the food. And I get the... Oh, that's -5. I don't want to do that. No blocks. If you have a way to, like, massively pump that thing, you got it. Darn it! No! No! No!
You're a tricksy one. I grace you with my lack of presence.
My poor Oko. Alright, well, clearly they have to block. Does this grant trample? I can attack with this too, but that's a little shady. And it's clearly not going to be double blocks. Yeah, that's going to get blocked. Okay. Okay, okay. I'm gonna just do this. Because I can, like, sack this. I can do 5 in the air. Double strike. That's 4 mana to just give it a +1/+. That's fine. Just tap all your lands. That's all I need you to do. Opponent killing my Oko. You didn't tap any of your lands. Oh, I could play Keeper of Fables. That's probably the safer thing to do. That's gonna get blocked. If I go for the win and they have something, I'm gonna play safer. I don't trust them with open mana. Alright, I'm fine with that. Deals 5 damage to target creature if at least 3 red mana was spent. Deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. Dang it! I want both those double strikers dead, because I don't want them untapping with that. Even though I'm at 18... I'm gonna sack of food. I am not happy. We wouldn't have won anyways, because if we went for a pump on that, it would have done that. Sack the food. I can't cast anything else, but our opponent now just has a 1/1. And we have strong stuff coming. I can cast... Yeah, let's do this. Okay. We got there. That's 7 wins. 7 wins, and the only thing Oko ever did was make 1 food and soak up a counterspell. But you know what? 7 wins. Feels good. Deck, I guess, started out a little bit rough. Ran into that, really strong mill control deck, but other than that, we had a very solid deck. Lovestruck Beast... I love the noise this thing makes. I can't help but laugh. 3 mana 5/5 is really strong, especially when it also comes with a 1/1. Can't attack unless you control a 1/1. What's really funny about this card as well is you can still declare the attack, because this doesn't get pumped until after attacks or blocks are declared. Oh, and that's just can't attack, it can still block. Oh yeah, I think I've run into that trap when that was standard legal. The River Turtle, the one time we cast it and got to use its effect, it was really good. Won us the game. I mean, opponent didn't let that go through. The opponent conceded, but my poor Oko. But okay. I was thinking about leaving the Lovestruck Beast back to block that turn, but this thing was really cool. Just Death Touch and threatening to draw extra cards. Yeah, green having we've got better card draw than blue now, and we're in green. I played this card in a couple commander decks. Very nice card. What else do I have to say about this? Our Muscle was really good, too. I like how the art is just a guy German suplexing a bear. Deathless Knight was cool. We didn't have a ton of food, though. Never really got around to recurring it from the graveyard, but just the fact that we could, and the fact that it was just, suddenly a haste creature. A green-black haste creature, those are kind of rare. Usually you'd expect, haste from, green-red. Green has had some hasty things before. But even this spider was pretty decent. A 5 toughness is a pretty good mark to be at in this format. Especially, this lined up really well against the Knight deck with all those 1 toughness youthful Knights. Because I was really nervous against that deck. A Return to Nature, I think is worth playing as a 1-of. Not much else to say about it. But it was relevant a couple of the times we had it. So, yeah. Curious Pair, food stuff. That's fine. The combat tricks were nice. This was nice. Where's that other... This thing was nice. I think our opponent thought we had this thing when we had the Insatiable Appetite. And that worked out well in our favor. This thing was also pretty... The free equip thing... This thing reminds me of Bramble Armor. I just have to attach it to a non-human, and there was a non-human thing, and that's why I didn't play these humans, because it doesn't really go well with that. I don't know that I'd want 2 of these, but having it as a 1-of was fine. Fell the Pheasant... We didn't see a ton of flying, so maybe this isn't really a main deckable-ish card. Everything else, the carriage was decent too. The pumpkin carriage that makes mice. Yeah, so we suddenly had a few synergies to allow the Lovestruck Beast in case our 1/1 died. And this thing, where's this? This thing, Once and Future. That was pretty cool, the times we were able to use that. The deck did feel a little bit expensive at times. We did have a lot of 4-mana stuff. But, we got 7 wins, so... 7 wins with Oko doing literally just look at this guy. He's just chilling here. Looking like he's lazy with those abs. And, Yeah, he just lets the rest of the deck do all the work. He came out and made 1 food and then left. Well, that was enough to get to 7 wins, 2,200 gems, 6 packs. I'm feeling good about that. So for now, I'll take my leave.